Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Jonathan and I am back again. It is time for an EDC update, summer 2018. Hopefully you guys like what you see. Please like, subscribe, share, and definitely comment. I really like to interact with you all, kind of find out what you're thinking, you know, what you're carrying, etc., etc. So let's get right into it. So this is the Note 8. I really like this phone. The phone is just definitely a powerhouse, right? It just gets the job done. The internet is super fast, and of course that depends on the network that you have, right? Another big thing that I have on my phone, you know, just throughout the course of the day, you know, you may be doing a lot, you may not have time to necessarily connect to a charger, so I carry a Mophie case on my phone. It actually charges it up to about 80%. right now, and I also have a pop socket on my phone just in case I want to watch a YouTube video or something of that sort, right? It's pretty cool. And that is the phone. Also, I didn't have my keys in the photo, but one thing that I want to show that I showed last time on my initial EDC video is the Key Smart add on to your keychain. It actually holds quite a few keys. I think I have only 3 keys on this one at this particular moment, but definitely, you know, keeps it organized. And they have larger ones that hold, you know, 6, 8, 12, 10, some, you know, just different amounts of keys and stuff like that. Now this is one thing that I'm, you know, really excited about, the Dango wallet. And I'm probably still as excited. I'm probably, you know, just as excited as I was when I initially, you know, got this particular wallet. Y'all can check that out. So this, it's an aluminum framed wallet with an elastic band around it, and of course you can see, you know, the leather, the leather front that allows you to hold a few cards in that area, and then the back of it is expandable. Let me take this off right here. So the back of it is expandable, so it opens up, you know, to kind of accommodate, you know, as many cards and things of that sort as you want to have in there. This one actually came with, this particular wallet actually came with the multi-tool, and I felt like I didn't really need the multi-tool, and it was taking up about as much space as 2 cards, so I just kind of left it out. But I really enjoyed the wallet. Don't want to go without it for sure. Let's get into so I think a lot of people carry headphones around. I used to be the guy who carried the, you know, the wired headphones around, but I've been carrying these Jabra headphones for a while now, and they have been absolutely wonderful. Let you check those out. So, you know, I use these for everything, right? Talking on the phone, going to the gym. As you can see, they are really small. Let's see here. So they are really small, but they have different size fittings, right? So they don't really fall out. I really haven't had a situation where they've fallen out yet, even though, you know, I've been running or jogging, whatever, and been really sweaty, you know, at the gym, things of that sort, and they just continue to go. They do have a new version, so these are the Jabra Elite version, and they have, I believe, 2 newer versions now. So one is more of a sport version, and another is more of a business version with more noise canceling options on it. And something that I didn't have in my initial EDC, but this is Burt's Beeswax. This is definitely what I use. Just some really good stuff. I think it's one of the best that I use, and, you know, just kind of keep it in my pocket. Not really a huge deal there. So the next item is something that I am still very excited about. This is the Zero Tolerance, their carbon fiber edition, and it actually has a 4.25 inch blade on it. The things that I really like about it is the actual size of it, right? So it is really thin, really light, and it's I'll say it's surprisingly light for what it is. And the action. So, you know, you barely flick it and it comes out, it's ready to go. And this has just been my pocket knife for quite a while at this point. I don't really see myself changing, though I will do another video because I am a knife guy as well. So I want to show you guys, you know, some of the knives that I have and that I have rotated through my EDC, but this is definitely the one that is here to stay for the moment. Now, all of this stuff, before I continue, all of this stuff will be, you know, will be linked in the description below. So please remember to check that out if you would like to, you know, kind of look at some of these products and things of that sort, or, you know, you just have questions about, hey, what did he say that was? So it'll definitely be in the list below. Let's keep it going. So this is a new addition to my EDC setup, and that is the kernel blade. And if you all have seen my, you know, if you all have seen my other video on this, you definitely know that I really like this blade. It's really intuitive. If you do not have a fixed blade knife, or even if you do have a fixed blade knife, and there's a knife store in your local area where you can go check these out, or you know, definitely go ahead and get online. One of the biggest things, or a few of the biggest things that I really like about this particular blade is that, first of all, if you have a K-bar, if you own a K-bar, you know, one of the things that you'll notice is the grip on the K-bar, and it's kind of, you know, kind of a thicker grip. And I have a pretty, you know, I have a pretty big hand, a pretty good sized hand. The kernel blade did a way better job as far as ergonomics go. So when you have it in your hand, it just feels like it's a part of your hand. It doesn't necessarily feel like you have, you know, something that's really bulky in your hand. And then the texture, it's pretty grippy, but not so aggressive that it's uncomfortable. So, you know, even if you were in the rain, you wouldn't have to worry about this blade slipping or anything of that sort. And of course, that brings me to this this hole right here, and that is used to, you know, just really secure the blade, right? So you don't have to worry about the blade coming out of your hand. And this blade is meant to be used in a regular course of punching. So, you know, you're here, and it also comes with a trainer. You know, it probably won't take you that long as far as using the trainer to get, you know, kind of to get used to using this blade. It didn't take me that long. I don't think it'll take you guys that long. Like I say, it's really one of the most intuitive knives that I've ever held in my hand. You know, you get it in your hand and you just kind of know what to do with it. So definitely something to, you know, definitely something to check out. And another really great thing that I like about it is the sheath that it came with. So this is a Kydex sheath that it came with, and literally the only thing that I changed about this particular setup was it only came with one screw. It only came with one mounting screw on this belt clip, and I added another screw just so it wouldn't have that free motion, right? Just so it wouldn't continue to move and move. So really can't say enough good stuff about that particular blade. Let's keep it rolling. So this is my current EDC flashlight, and I really like this flashlight. So a few of the features on this particular light: you have two separate buttons at the back. One is for constant on, and this is a 1600 lumen light. So one is for constant on, and I'm about to hit the strobe, so if anyone has issues with strobe lights or something like that, please look away for a moment. So you have direct access to the constant on, which you can press and use it as a momentary on, and you have instant access to the strobe light feature as well. And the setting that I have it on now is in turbo, so it will give you the full 1600 lumens. And this is actually powered by 36 milliamp hour lithium ion battery, and it really gets the job done. And this is the Claris XT2CR. Just a really good light. It's the same exact size as most of those lights out on the market that are you know, 300 lumens or 500 lumens, and you know, why why probably pay a higher price. I think I paid like, right around $60 something for this particular light. I bought it on eBay, I want to say. But I'll, like I say, I'll have the link in the description, and you guys can check it out and see what the price is now. Maybe it fluctuated a little bit or something of that sort. Let's get into the next item, which are shades. So right now, and I have a couple of different pairs. This is kind of just a placeholder, but you really want to have a pair of shades, and kind of the really important thing about it is you want to be able to see, of course. So the sun is out, summertime, really bright. If you can't see, you can't react, right? So definitely important to have have a pair of shades for sure. And now really getting into the next thing, and this is one of the most important things that I carry in my EDC setup on a daily basis. This is the rat's tourniquet, and let me show you all that. And this is kind of how I keep it, right? I actually keep it rolled up like this, and just put it in my pocket this way, because it sits pretty flat. I don't know if you all can really kind of tell how flat that sits, but it really sits flat. It doesn't disrupt me at all. And the rat's tourniquet is something that you can use definitely to help someone out if someone's in a car accident or something of that sort, or God forbid you actually have to you actually end up in any kind of situation where someone's bleeding. You can definitely kind of tie them over until emergency services get there, and the goal is for everyone to go home safe, right? So this is definitely something that you should carry. If you haven't looked into it, you should definitely look into it. Now, for one of the items everyone has probably been waiting for. And before I get into it, let me go ahead and do a safety check. The magazine is empty. Going to rack the slide a few times and also provide that for a check. All right. So this gun is clear, and this is the P365, and this particular magazine is the extended magazine, the 12-round magazine. And I have been carrying this since I want to say since about a week and a half from the review video that I did a while back on the P365. And I just have a few things to say about this particular gun. I really like it. So the trigger is amazing, and let me just show you all what I mean. So that is the wall. So you start here, and that is the wall. There you go. So that's the reset. And that's definitely an audible reset. You really don't have a problem, kind of discerning when you get back to that point. And like I say, the trigger is one of the best that I've felt in this size gun, hands down. I don't really have any issues with this gun at all. One of the big things that I will say though is I did put quite a few rounds through this gun. I think I was at right around right under 1,500 rounds, so I was at about 1,350 rounds before I made this. I got this particular gun into my EDC rotation, and the reason is because this is actually, so I was calling this the Gen 2 version. So I called it the Gen 2 version because this was actually after they had stopped production for a little while and then restarted it initially. And it came with these night sights. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it came with the night sights. Like I say, you really can't beat the value. So you don't have to change the trigger like you will most of the time in the Glocks. So I had the Glock 43, but it had the stock trigger. These particular sights are really nice. Steel sights, night sights, like I said. And with this magazine extension, it really feels like a full size. It almost feels like a full size gun. But the capacity, you can't beat it. So right now with the extended magazine, it is 12 plus 1, so 13 rounds, you know, 12 in the 12 in the magazine, 1 in the chamber. And also I carry another 10 round magazine, and it is empty at the moment. Another 10 round magazine, the one with the pinking extension that actually comes with the gun. So I think this particular magazine, I got this magazine from a local gun store, and it was right around I think $50-something after, you know, after tax and everything, right? But I carry this P365 in a Vetter holster currently, and the reason I chose Vetter was you know, they were one of the holster companies that I tried out initially, and you guys probably will not believe me when I say this. I went through probably about 7 different holsters before I found Vetter holsters. And the reason I kept buying holsters, initially I started off buying, you know, holsters off of eBay. That really, you know, they were okay, but, you know, they were just generic holsters, right? So no one was putting their name on it, so they didn't really have, I would probably say they didn't have the highest quality per se. Not to say that you won't find any kind of quality holsters on eBay or anything of that sort. So you know, you definitely can find a few gems probably. But I've found Vetter holster, and I don't plan on going anywhere except for a few instances, right? And I'll actually get into that in a moment. But this particular holster has a claw, and it has the Vetter holster clip, which is, I think, leaps and bounds above the rest. And this is tuckable, so you can hear the audible click when you're actually putting that into the holster. And this one, you know, of course, it is adjustable retention. It has adjustable retention, and this claw is used to, so once you actually put that on your belt or inside of your pants, the claw is used to push against the belt, and it pushes this part of the grip of the gun actually a little bit into your body, so it prints less, right? So I can't say enough about the Vetter holsters and the P365. I've not had problems with it like who is it, Harry's holster? Yeah, I think he's on like his second or maybe even third P365 at this point, and he's been having issues. But like I say, I really haven't had any issues out of this. It's been working for me great. I really like it. The ergonomics, you know, the way it shoots, all of that really. So that's where I am with that. Now let's get into the next one. So this is my MP Compact 2.0, and as you can probably tell, I've made a few modifications. So one of the modifications that I'm really excited about is the new flat-faced Apex trigger kit that I put in, and I just recently put this in. So when I say I just recently put this in, I literally put this in a few days ago, and I am waiting to go and get it out at the range so I can bring you guys that footage and things of that sort. So you'll definitely be seeing this here in the near future. Let's talk about the magazine for just a second. So of course the Compact 2.0 comes with the 15 round magazine, so I still have both of those, but this is the 17 round magazine, the normal size M&P 17 round magazine, and I do have a Terran Tactical extension on there, and that takes this from a 17 round magazine to a 21 round magazine. And you know, kind of the reason that I would carry this particular gun is because I may want more capacity at that particular time because of where I'm going, or you know, just depending on what I have on at that particular time, right? So if I have on something that can conceal this and it's not an issue, then I'll go ahead and wear this. Otherwise, of course, I will carry the P365, which is much more concealable. You know, just with, you know, even if you have basketball shorts on, you know, you can conceal the P365 very easily. Another thing that you all will see is the TLR 7 light, and this light is a 500 lumen light, string light, and the really you know, great thing about this particular light that really excited me was the fact that it is on the same, you know, as far as the length goes, right? It does not extend the length of the gun, but it's 500 lumens, and you know, I won't carry a flashlight that is less than 500 lumens. That's just me. That's my preference. You know, some people carry 300 lumen lights and things of that sort. I will come with a you know, light video here pretty soon. I found a really small light that's kind of a gem, and it's on Amazon for like $20. I couldn't believe it. It's aluminum, but we'll get into that, you know, in a different video. But this trigger, and before I do anything, let me go ahead and do a safety check on this. The magazine is empty, and I will, hopefully you guys can see that. All right, and I'll wrap it a few times. But let's try out this trigger. So the biggest thing that I noticed when I, you know, when I changed this trigger and I started doing dry firing, was the take up that it removed. So this is where it is now. All right, so I'm gonna hold that and just watch where the reset is. That is the reset. Let me do that again. Maybe you didn't see that. Wait. And so I'm really excited to get this back out to the range. I was already, you know, this is already literally my favorite gun. This is the MP20 Compact. I think I purchased this for $3.99 on an online site. Pretty much, you know, right around the time when it came out. I just wanted it. I really like Smith & Wesson, and I definitely like it more than the other gun that I have that's the same size, right? My Glock 19. So, and one thing, so I do want to, you know, give you guys maybe a tip or something. So a lot of people are, you know, talking about the texturing. You know, it is a really aggressive texturing, and it's still that way on this side. But what I did on this other side, the side that actually rubs against my body, I used some 400 grit sandpaper and lightly sanded over the areas that were up against my body, and that completely removed this really aggressive texturing, and it's almost like a silky feeling on this side. So you know, if you want to get rid of that feeling, if you carry this every day and it's been scratching you up and things of that sort, go ahead and get a little bit of sandpaper and just kind of tape off, you know, what you don't want to scratch up, and just lightly sand it. You don't even have to, you know, sand hard or anything like that. With this, when I'm carrying this, I'm also carrying another magazine that also is a 17 round with the extended with the Terran Tactical extension on it. And you know, I really don't have any complaints. I've never had any issues with this particular gun or my P365. I'm really you know, really glad to have both of them, and you know, they've just been really great for me. So that is my current EDC, and no, I do not carry both of these at the same time. So I do rotate these in and out, just kind of depending on, like I say, what I have on or where I'm going. And last but not least, so before I wrap this up, I just want to talk about one more thing. And I did not talk about this at all on my first video, and I was like, did I really leave the belt out? And this is, the reason I say that is because this really is the foundation of what you're doing, right? So your gun is on here. You know, if you have a fixed blade knife or something of that sort, it could be on here. You know, extra magazines and things of that sort will be on here. And you really want a good belt. You don't just want a regular belt that is, you know, that's flimsy or anything like that. You really want a good belt that has, you know, that creates a solid foundation for your holster and for your gun. This particular belt is a core belt, and hopefully I can hold that up and you guys can see that. This is a core belt, and it has a track system, right? So you all see that track system, and what this does, I literally have to say that this is probably the best belt I've ever had. So, and the reason for that is you have the option, you know, you can micro adjust this belt, right? So you'll initially put it on, and slide it in, and you hear it locking, right? So it locks in. And say you're going out to eat and you're eating and you're sitting there and you've probably eaten way too much. I do sometimes. You can just hit this little lever at the bottom. Hopefully you guys can see that little bitty lever. You can hit that little bitty lever at the bottom, and it will it'll just let the belt out just a little bit, right? And before you get up, you can just hold 2 fingers here on the actual buckle, and grab the belt with 2 fingers and just push back in, and it clicks back in place, right? So you can adjust your belt in and out, as needed throughout the course of the day, and you don't have to kind of just deal with wherever the holes are in your belt, right? So this is definitely something that I would say, hey guys, go check it out. Like I say, this belt does have a track system, and it also has a reinforced layer inside of this belt, so it is really, really rigid, to say the least. But that is it, guys. I definitely hope that you liked what you saw, and as always, be safe. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell at the bottom. Definitely comment. I am waiting to hear you guys, hear from you guys. Be good.